Okay, so I found what I was missing. So if I go to display polygons and go to border edges and also display polygons texture border edges, we should be able to see those edges. So if I turn on polygons texture border edges, we can actually see where those textured border edges, the UVs, they're just a little bit thicker there. So actually we can collapse this window, and actually if you hold down, so when I'm UV cutting, I'll usually just go to expert mode, which is basically if you hold down control and space in the main window, it kind of gets rid of all the mess, and from here you can actually just work all in one window, and it makes it a little bit easier. Okay, so from here I'm actually going to select, so go to edge mode and just select that top one, the top of the arm, and then double click down here, and from top of here down to here, and just holding down shift to do that, and then I'm going to say cut. So we can see that it's made that cut for us right there. That's what I'm looking for. And then from here I'm actually going to select here and go to there and right here at the neck, and then all the way back down over here, and just cut. Alright. And then from here, actually probably the best route to go about doing this one, I'm going to go to face mode, okay, and I'm just going to double click. I should be able to go to face mode here. I just want to make sure. That's right. Okay. Yeah, I thought he was still one piece, or he is one piece. I thought he was, I wasn't thinking correctly. So if I grab all these right here and just select around the neck, let's make sure those are all selected, and then I'm going to cut. So now I can see that I have this face, and then from here, I just want to make sure I get this underarm. So here to here, and cut there, and then I also want to select around the arm, select that around the arm, and I'm going to cut there as well. So, and I'll show you exactly why we're doing it this way. We'll pull the shirt out. So here, double click here, and we can cut. Okay. So with the shirt, we should be able to actually grab the face, well actually just grab the UVs, grab a UV here. So here, and then open up our, there we go. So from here we can actually grab by our shells, our UV shell. And so if you go UV shell, and so because we've cut that out, we can actually see how that shell is actually broken down. Okay, so this is going to be like the front part of the shirt, and then this shell is going to be the back part of the shirt. And so you can actually just double check that all those polygons that we have selected are the back of the shirt. Okay, so with that, so we'll select that, the front of that shirt, and then if we go into here, we can actually just, if you hold down control and right click, you can actually do a lot of the so right clicking here, you can actually go to UVs. You just convert that selection to UVs, which is the front. And then if you hold down shift and right click, you can actually unfold that and just kind of move that out of the way, and we're gonna just kind of putting this in a certain area. I'm just actually going to move it off to the side right now, just to kind of place that how I want it. Okay, and so from here, I can actually just either downsize that or whatever, and then so we'll actually go back to UV shell and grab that shell, and then bring up our. This helps to have two windows. So also helps to kind of put this as well. So if we go to Shift and Unfold, okay, that's showing us the back. And so from here, so I like to just put them close by each other. So with this being the front, this being the back. All right. And then for the face, show you how we get, we can do these arms as well. So with the arms, it's usually, I like to do the arm like top half of the arm and lower part of the arm. So, and then do the hands usually separately. So I'll usually just grab, so go to edge mode, and actually I'm just going to turn control space on, just so I can go back, and I'm actually going to turn symmetry on. Since the character is already in symmetry, this will help us, this will just make things a little bit faster. So if we hold control space again to go back, we can actually just select these. Actually, we'll go right to the wrist, and just making sure that the other wrist is selected as well, which it is. And so we'll just do a cut there. And there's different ways to actually do this. You can actually just put the seam along the back of the arm and just kind of have it unwrap as a cylinder, which seems to do okay as well. I've seen it both ways, where you actually just cut it right down the middle, so you get the bottom half of the arm and the top half of the arm. For this one, I'm probably just going to cut the seam right here on the back of his arm, and so I'll just throw a cut there, and then from here we should be able to go back to UV shell and select that shell. Okay, grab that shell, and then we will go to the UV editor. Looks like, because I had closed that out. And from here, if you actually just hold down Shift and right click, we can say unfold. And so that basically puts that in a, it unwraps it. So those arms are actually, so here, actually two. So I'm actually just going to go to the UVs and oh, because I know why. Yeah, I was wondering why I'm actually getting that. So I just want to go to control space here, turn off. So sometimes if you forget to, like I do fairly often, and I will stretch this arm out just to get a little bit more space. And from here, this is the other arm. You could actually, since both of these arms are pretty similar, you could just stack them on top of each other if you would like. But for now, I'm actually going to just hold off on stacking. I might stack at the, just depends on how much space. I probably will stack the hands because the hands are the same. This is the arms are the same as well, but for now I'm not going to worry about that. So with that, and to do these hands, I do like to do the hands, so top part of the hand and bottom part of the hand. So from here, I'll grab these edges and actually turn symmetry back on. And so I'll just grab these edges that run along the whole bottom of his hand. Okay, so I'm just going to start and do this one by one. So just holding down Shift and just selecting these guys. So just riding along that, and if you frame that selection, and then you can zoom and kind of stay around that. So from here, and I'm just thinking about, I'm looking at the flat. I want this part, this is how I'm going to cut this out, by just slapping down the bottom faces of this hand. Okay, you just try and visualize how you're going to cut this out. It's almost like cutting out a paper doll. So that's how I like to think about when I'm doing UVs, is just think about where the cut actually makes sense, makes the most sense. Sometimes you have to make some different choices. Like for this, I could actually go here, here, and then back up over the thumb, or I can just go here to here. I'll probably just go from here to here and then just finish out that thumb. Going here. So this will be the bottom part of the hand. Okay, so when we cut that, then we can actually go to UV shell, select the shell, and then we can go back to our editor window, and we can go and right click those faces and say unfold. And here, these are actually going to, so from these ones, actually I'm going to turn symmetry off. So turn symmetry off. And then go back to the UV editor window. And I'm just going to select this one. And in the UV toolkit, which is right here, I want to grab that toolkit, and then in the, I think it's under, arrange and layout, I believe. Nope, there's a flip. I think it's under transform. Where is our flip? There it is. Okay, so we'll flip that guy. And so now they basically they should be matched up here. So from here, I can actually just grab this one and put it over this one. And then I'll grab both of them together. And then in the UV toolkit, there is a snap together, or a snap and stack. So snap together should get it so they're basically right on top of each other. Doesn't look like they're right on top of each other, but I'll usually try snap and stack as well. Sometimes this takes a little bit. Let's see. Match UVs. Nope. Don't want that. Yeah, so sometimes when that happens, I'll just make sure to go back to faces, and then actually UV shell. I'm just going to grab that bottom and go back to unfold. Unfold. Alright. And then grab the other one, also unfold. Okay. And so from here, actually I'm going to have to flip this again. So it's under, under transform on the scale. I'm just going to flip that. And then from here, let's try this. So we'll select this one, and then select this one, and then we'll actually go back over here, and we'll say snap together. Stack similar. There we go. I think that should be stack similar should be the what we're looking for. Yep, stack similar is what it was. So then from here we can actually go to the UV shells and to just make sure that both of them are selected, which they are. And then we can move this guy back over here. And from here I like to just double clicking on that. Just making sure that this is actually scaled up just a little bit. So one cool thing with this as well, you can actually select a shell, and then in the UV in the UV editor, so you can actually get the texel density of what, say, this arm is, and so you can get that. Which I have selected, and then if I go back over to here and bring this and then select these guys, I can actually just grab that UV toolkit and say set, and that actually uses the same texel density as although I am going to scale just a little bit. And the reason why you want the kind of the same texel density is so when the map actually actually when we put that map on there, that basically all your squares are pretty close together. So texels are almost like individual boxes that make up the points per unit, if that makes sense at all. It's kind of hard to explain texel density, but it's kind of like pixels, really, when you think about 255, even like colors from like 0 to 255, 0 to 255, so on and so forth. So this is, I believe, yes. So this is 0 space, and then this is 1 in, I think, V for vertical, and the other way is so where UV comes from. So